Hi, YouTube friends. It's me. And for once, I'm not going to start bursting into tears. I'm going to do a video from start to finish talking about this subject without falling apart. What I want to talk to you about is something that I didn't know I did. I didn't know was part of the neurodivergent experience. And now that I see it, I can't unsee it. It's the weirdest thing. So, I want to talk to you about masking. Now, keep in mind, I am literally a neurodivergent newborn. I am a newbie to all of this. I am literally an ADHD ABDL baby. So I can only speak from my experiences and from what I understand, and I will not promise that I'll get all of this right. But I'm trying my best to learn. And I want this video series to be a real documentary of what it's like to learn after this much time has passed that you weren't neurotypical and you weren't a failure at being neurotypical. And so please be patient with me. And please understand, I am not an expert. I am half of this I'm talking out of my ass. But I have been doing a lot of research. Actually, I've been, as I said before, focusing my hyperfixation on my ADHD because that's the new and novel thing in my life right now. And so, of course, that's the thing that my brain wants to focus on. I understand that. And sometimes hyperfocus actually is really useful. No, it is not a fucking superpower. Yes, this is actually a mental condition. This is a disability. And yeah, it's made a lot of things in my life a whole lot harder than they had to be. No, I'm not ashamed of it. No, I don't think there's anything wrong with me. No, I wouldn't change anything about myself. But the reality is, this is something that I have to deal with. But the hyperfixation can be useful. And in this case, it's taught me a lot of things. And I've learned and I've listened and I've been watching a lot of ADHD TikTok because it feels really good seeing myself and seeing my experiences represented in somebody else. I didn't know representation was a thing that I could have because I thought I was weird. I thought there was something wrong with me. I didn't know that this was something that other people experienced. Now that I understand that this is what ADHD is, I've learned a few things. And masking is one of the big ones. I'm hiding my traits that make me visibly neurodivergent. Because we don't live in a neurodivergent world. We live in a neurotypical world, and everything is built for neurotypical people. And neurotypical people have zero concept of what it is like to not be neurotypical. And everything's a little harder. Some things are a hell of a lot harder. Some things are easier. That's what makes us different. My masking manifests itself in a lot of areas of my life that I didn't know it did. I was at work today and I noticed a behavior that I have done for so long that I thought it was just a thing. It was a normal thing. And because this was masking my non-neurotypical behaviors, basically camouflaging them behind something else that would be more socially acceptable, I never got any pushback on it, like I have with many of the things that make me visibly neurodivergent. Like the knee bouncing. Oh my god, the knee bouncing. I did not know that the burning, itching, grating desire to bounce my knee when I'm sitting in a chair like a fucking pair of coked up jackrabbits fucking was stimming behavior. I just knew that it was annoying because everybody in my life has told me that that is annoying. Enough times that I have internalized all of that and tried to not do it. I don't care who you are. I don't care if you are neurotypical, if you are neurodivergent. I don't care where you are on the mental health spectrum. This experiment will tell you something. I want you to listen very carefully to what I'm about to say, and then I want you to do it for just a moment. All right? Are you ready? Do not think about an elephant wearing roller skates. Do not think about an elephant wearing roller skates. Don't think about this big, bulky elephant pirouetting on roller skates. Whatever you do, do not picture or think about an elephant wearing roller skates. And begin. And stop. Did you manage to not think about an elephant wearing roller skates? Probably not. It's really hard not to think about something. So unusual when somebody puts that picture in your mind, right? Like, it's hard not to visualize the thing that you're being told not to think about. And I know that this is true for neurotypical people as well, because this is a lesson that I was actually taught in school years ago that for whatever reason stuck with me. But I'm going to take it a step further. Imagine that an elephant on roller skates and thinking about an elephant on roller skates and imagining this elephant wearing a tutu and twirling on roller skates helps you function. And people in your life tell you all the time, you know, it's really annoying when you think about an elephant on roller skates, right? The thing that it is almost impossible to do. Don't think about an elephant on roller skates. And other people make you feel really crappy for doing the thing that it is almost impossible to do. And your brain wants to do it constantly. That's sort of what this feels like. That's sort of what masking feels like. It's all these behaviors. It's thinking about an elephant on roller skates, except in this case, it's biting my fingernails, or bouncing my knee, or popping. The popping thing that I do. The popping. I know that's annoying. I've been told that's annoying. A lot of people have told me that's annoying. My whole life, people have told me that that's annoying. I try not to do that all the time. It's really hard not to do that all the time because that's stimming. My brain is doing it on purpose because it needs some sort of stimulation. And for whatever reason, gives it a little stimulation. Doing that thing, flapping your arms, thumping your leg, strumming your fingers, popping your knuckles, biting your fingernails, picking at your skin, whatever it is that you're doing it because your brain needs to do it. And other people making you feel really bad about doing it feeds this like internal guilt engine. And neurodiverse people often have a really powerful internal guilt engine, an internal shame engine. Because we've been told our whole lives that we're weird and that the things that we do are annoying. and we internalize all of that. And so if I can't imagine an elephant on roller skates, then I'll imagine a hippopotamus on a skateboard. Maybe that won't annoy people as much. So if I can't bounce my knee or bite my fingernails, because my ex-husband, who, again, I've said this before, we are divorced, but we are still friends. We do still talk pretty regularly. Our relationship has changed in a really significant way, but we are still in each other's lives, and I'm happy about that. But I digress. Because that is true, he is still my friend. We are still a part of each other's lives. I feel like I should disclaim this. I am not calling my husband out. But the number of times over the 16 years of our relationship with one another that I would be biting my fingernails and the clicking of my teeth when I would do it used to drive him crazy. And the number of times that he would point it out and say, "Oh my God, will you stop with the nail biting? You've been doing it for hours." I internalized all of that. So I feel really, and it's not just from him. Like, please don't blame him. It's not his fault. I've been told that my whole life because I do it for hours, and it is annoying, and I know that. But I've internalized that message, and it feeds my guilt engine, and it feeds my shame engine. And so today at work, I realized one of the ways that I mask my stimming behavior so that I can function in neurotypical society. And now that I've seen it, I can't unsee it. I click my teeth together with my mouth closed. And very gently, and I'm doing that constantly. When I am around other people, that's my go-to stimming behavior. I didn't know that's what it was. I never even had any real conscious awareness that I was doing it. Like, yeah, I've noticed it in the same way that you might notice yourself strumming your fingers on your desk or something. It's like not a thing that really registers. It's not important, but I do that a lot. And now that I've seen it, and now that I know that it's, fidgeting behavior, stimming behavior, I can't unsee it. It's everywhere. I do it constantly. If there are other people around, I'm doing that. My mouth is closed and I'm just like, and you can't tell that I'm doing it from the outside, but it's satisfying my need to stim. It's satisfying my need to get stimulation to my central nervous system to shut my brain up because I can feel it and because I can hear it as the vibrations travel up my jaw so close to my ear and my eardrum. I can hear the clicking, but nobody else can. That's the key to masking. I'm camouflaging the thing that everybody doesn't like by doing a thing that nobody can tell I'm doing, and I get the satisfaction. The thing about masking, it can be very useful. It can be very helpful when I need to be in a situation where the thing that I do isn't appropriate. I've taught myself that. 44 years of trying to be normal around normal people when I know I'm not normal and I don't understand, but they don't like the thing I do. I've taught myself how to mask really well. That's not unusual. That's a very common thing among people who are autistic, people who are ADHD, OCD, any neurodivergency. We have to. It's how we have to function. And in my case, this is my go-to secret stimming behavior, my secret fidgeting. I use those terms interchangeably. They basically are, the ADHD community typically refers to fidgeting, the autistic community typically refers to stimming, but it's the exact same behavior with a lot of the same reasons behind it. And to me, I think fidgeting gives it like a cute connotation, and then people buy fidget spinners and fidget toys, and they weren't designed for them because they're neurotypical. And I don't know, that's always kind of felt weird and gross. Like, when I thought I was neurotypical, do you have any idea? This is where my ADHD brain is going off in 12 directions, so I'm losing focus and I'm losing track of the conversation. I apologize. But do you have any idea how badly, when fidget spinners were all the rage, how badly I wanted one? I wanted one so bad. I love things that spin. I love things that twirl. I love things I can play with my hands. I wanted one so bad. And they were in every store. Every gas station in America was selling them. Every grocery store was selling them. If anybody thought they could make a buck selling this viral toy sensation that's sweeping the nation, they sold fidget spinners. And I never had one, because I thought I was neurotypical. And I knew that these fidget toys were designed for people who needed them. And I felt a hell of a lot like I was taking somebody's wheelchair for a joyride every time I thought about buying a fidget spinner. There's a lot of irony in that. I'm telling you this story because I'm explaining why I prefer the word stimming. It's not cute. It's not for toys. It's not to have fun. It's something that the neurodivergent brain needs. It is a coping mechanism. It is something to help facilitate life. It's a wheelchair, not a toy. And because of that, calling it fidgeting to me, and this is just my preference, makes it cute and neuro adorable. And fuck that. I don't like that. That makes me uncomfortable. So that's why I call it stimming. So the point of all of this, the point of this whole conversation, the point of this whole video is, now that I see it, I can't unsee it. And now that I understand why my brain wants to do these things, I let my brain do these things sometimes. If I'm in a situation where it's not going to annoy other people, if I'm home by myself, that's a big time. But even if I'm just out in public and I'm not hurting anything, I let myself stim, do the thing that I want to do so bad that just is so satisfying and helps me focus. I'm not gonna stop masking because it's not an option. And I don't know if I fully could, even if I wanted to, because this has been lifelong ingrained behaviors. I think my stimming, I think my letting my mask down would look a lot different if I hadn't spent my life trying to hide it all. I've subconsciously turned it into other things. And I'm tired of hiding it from myself, not recognizing it for what it is and not allowing myself to do it and thinking that there's something wrong with me for doing it. I'm not going to do that anymore. So I have bought some fidget toys. I have bought this. I have this really cool roller that I can roll in my hand that feels so good. I can play with that thing for hours. And when I get done recording this video, I am going to go online shopping and I'm going to buy myself a fidget spinner because I feel like I deserve it. And while I'm doing that, I'm probably going to have ADHD TikTok videos playing on my TV while listening to the song playing in my head. And you know what? the whole time, my knee is going to be bouncing like a jackhammer. That's my evening's plans. Bye, guys.